Good morning, freedom fighters. I have a lot to go over today. It's a huge chemtrail operation that's going on offshore of Oregon and Washington and California at this moment, but very unusual fires again yesterday that I was not paying attention to. First one's in Arizona. The fires start again in Mexico, and there's some in New Mexico. Let me bump it ahead. You can see the fires in Mexico starting as the one in Arizona and New Mexico at the same time. And I haven't looked anywhere else. How many of these fires are starting at the exact same time? There's one right there, one there, one there. And they start pretty close at the same time. And these here are going to start again. It may be logging. It may be, there's another one there. It may be, it's not what I think it is, but is it purposely lighting fires to help manipulate the weather? Which I have the scientists talk about that they do. They lit fires on purpose to manipulate the weather, the atmosphere, fill it full of smoke. But looks like around the same time as a couple days ago when I showed it, around noon. It's a lot of fires going off at one area, about 150 miles of area being lit at the exact same time. Alright, let's go a little farther up. These might be a little farther south than last time too. I have to look at my previous video. It looked farther south, but maybe not. A lot more fires today than the other day's video. And here's the ones that's all over New Mexico. You can see fires, and the one in Flagstaff still smoking, and a new one in Arizona. We'll see how they start. Arizona was not smoking at daybreak. Flagstaff was not smoking at daybreak. They might have had another flare up. I tried to look for these fires. I could not find them. Flagstaff and New Mexico started at the exact same time, here and here. And there's one west of Albuquerque, and the one west of Roswell, and one east of Phoenix starts at the exact same time. Might be control burns. I don't know. I'm just saying it's just suspicious that we have so many fires at night and at the same time. And we've seen how they lit Chile up in my video. Any of y'all want to see that? That looks like chemtrail operations right there. Last night, yesterday evening. Very distinct lines over Mexico. No matter who outlaws these people, you cannot stop the UN from spraying our countries. They are allowed to do experiments on top of the people. Heavy chemtrail into Mexico right as dark set last night. I had some very important videos of their information. Let's see. I can see the chemtrail ships too this morning. A little bit. Let me zoom out. A heavy chemtrail operation here. Let's go to Wendy. I can see it a little better. That was Zoom Earth, whoever would like to follow this stuff. We need to all start making videos. I'm not having any fun doing this. I used to make commercial fishing videos for years, since 2005. On my other platform I'm no longer allowed to be on due to phones, not having the right phone number or whatever. It's crazy how they control our access to our own platforms through our phones. Well, I can't get back in my email. That's what it really is. Stand by a minute. Get a little coffee in me. This will be my last broadcast from Alaska this morning. I will wake up in a different state tomorrow. I don't know about wake up unless I can sleep on their plane, which is rare. But very distinct chemtrail lines from aircraft A propeller-driven turbofan engine doesn't put out much heat. Most of it's just a fan, like a propeller in a boat. You know, they're just turning the air. They're giant propellers. Just only like 10% of its heat. They're not putting out these kind of contrails. Condensation's a myth. Condensation trail's a myth. Condensation evaporates and returns to normal immediately when the temperature goes back to normal. It dissipates, just like when you exhale cold air. As soon as your breath cools down, it dissipates. This is poisoning. Very heavy poisoning, actually. It's before daybreak. It just drifts and drifts. They just keep respraying it and respraying it. And I've showed y'all the fallout videos where these chemicals come back down in the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, you need to see a video. You just go down into my comment section. I usually have plenty of evidence of everything from the government. Let's see what it looks like invisible. See, it's hard to see the upper deck. It's so cloudy on the ocean, nobody's seeing anything. It's fog, most likely. I'm trying to kill the ocean off. You want to talk about no oxygen? Imagine having psychopaths controlling everything. Psychopath billionaires. I want to show you how much a difference in 1,000,000 seconds and 1,000,000,000,000 seconds. I mean, it's phenomenal. Stand by. Our country is being robbed blind. Where is our uniformed personnel that stand up for our people? A millionaire isn't nothing compared to these billionaires. And they spend $1 trillion. I think we're like 40 trillion. That money would never be paid if they robbed the world of every business assets. Our commercial industry was bought up by money that was given by the government of the United States to buy our industries up. Grants. Some of the most evil thing in the world was grants. That's why the scientists put a commercial fisherman out of business, because of grants. Scared to death to say everything was doing good with our fisheries. Then they poison it with these toxic chemicals. These toxic chemicals they spray that people keeps trying to deny is killing everything. We can blame the beetles for killing all the trees on the planet, but these trees cannot protect themselves without the natural system. Their roots are not able to bring in water any longer because of aluminum, because of all this stuff. Everything that we done, Roundup. I mean, everything y'all spray, every chemical. Roundup's one of the worst things you can put in anywhere. It evaporates and gets into our rain. We got to stop the chemical poisoning of our planet now. Stand by. This was the sky of my youth, and this is what we have today. And without the life-giving light of the sun, everything will die. Put a tarp in your yard for 24 days and see what happens. Stand by. I like my weather natural, and I don't know when the last time I seen natural weather. They've been experimenting on the United States in my entire life. I've seen pictures go back to the late 80s that had these trails in the sky. People are like, oh, there's always been like that. Well, yeah, they've been experimenting on it since the 1960s. I got video after video from the government saying that they do. 1950s, actually. Stand by. These are not ballast tanks. These are hooked up to computers so that it releases whenever the machine tells it to release. These are private jets that they have. Now, that might be a full-size jet. I didn't realize that. I've never seen them gutted before, so that might even be a full-size jet. All the way to the back. They're lying to us. Our meteorologist is lying to us, and they have shadow banned me. My voice is censored. No one sees my material unless you share it. Please share our material. It must be shared. Stand by. There is no one coming to help us. They all know about these operations. That's why I do not send it to politicians and stuff. They're locked up. I've been to DC. I've been in Congress myself and witnessed voting myself from the balconies of Congress. None of these are our friends. And yes, that is the red tie you think it is. He already knows about these devices, and they were spraying heavy during his era. God, the terror that's about to happen to us. Stand by. I am not here to get rich off of anything. All I want to do is be a fisherman. If they shut this stuff off today, I will go back to work. Hopefully there'll be fish again. But we must quit poisoning our atmosphere now. This is a nightmare. To know what I know, and you as well that are listening 11 minutes, you know as well. This is not normal, and they are trying to destroy our planet is the end game. Remember, lunatics may have control of billions of dollars, and I just show you the difference of a millionaire and a billionaire is extreme. Please help fight for the children that deserves to have what I had. The thought of freedom, not the hell they are about to put us through. World War III has already started. Most hadn't even realized it yet. You're still living your dream. That's about to be woken up. Stand by for more information. Magazine from 1954. They were already messing with it big time. They had already, it was instant. When they developed, when they realized they can electrify the ionosphere and control the jet stream and stuff, it was on. They had control of the weather and they knew it. All they had to do is find the right chemicals, which was already developed in 1916 by Charles Hatfield. Do y'all know about the Hatfields flood? That's a great one. Stand by. Okay, we're looking at live. It is 12:46 a.m. Alaska time. Very distinct trails, but I believe these are from ships trying to keep this massive material sprayed. And it's funny how they try to stay in the fog bank. They don't want to get out in the open. I showed yesterday what they are. But let's go back for 6 hours. That might be a little bit too far. Yeah, it is. I only need it for 2 hours. 2 hours at crack of daylight here, and you can see how slow these devices are moving. See it cruising right there. This thing isn't long enough for daylight, but that's the chemtrail vessels working offshore California. Why you got the heavy chemtrail vessels, aircraft working offshore of Oregon and Washington and Northern California. Let's see what else. Stand by. The electrical storm is pretty unusual right now too. Let me show you that. Might have should have started off with this, but the warriors will like it that's standing by. You see this vapor trail? I don't know why it's such a bend in it. I haven't figured out what it might be just the clouds moving. But we're going to look at the last 6 hours and how these vapor trails are creating these storms and more storms along it. I'm going to stop it a couple times. There's the very distinct lines that I talk about. That is just the vapor of the machine working. As day break, it gets stronger, where you can really see it. In my opinion, that's what is creating these storms. Streaks from the laser that I over and over have put the scientists on, but I'm not going to put him on this time. Y'all can go back in my previous video of the 100 years of weather modification, or the scientist admits they create storms. So let it play out a little longer. You can see the rotation of it too. Very distinct. All of it's been vaporized by it, in my opinion. Crazy ripples. Anything else? Yeah, there's some more ripples. It's just the movement of the material. Thank you to everybody. I appreciate each and every one of your comments. I appreciate anyone that donates to the cause. I've lost all my fisheries. It's the only reason I would ever ask for money. And I never even thought about it. The Warriors brought it to my attention. They wanted to help me. Meant to say that the other day when I brought it up. I never talk about money. But I appreciate y'all when y'all help. Really brings me joy that y'all care. I mean, I don't have anyone in my life. Drugs, epidemics is taking everything. And I just lost my girlfriend on Easter. So starting to dwindle down. I've always been a loner, and it's about to get even lonelier. But commercial fishermen standing by. I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all be careful in these very dangerous storms. I believe we all need to start building hurricane bunkers and tornado shelters or whatever they call them. Lightning storms going way up north now, like they've never seen before. Early in the morning for electrical storms too, compared to daytime heating used to be when I was young. But commercial fishermen standing by. Y'all have a good morning, a good day, a good evening, a good night. We are all on different timelines because the earth is definitely not flat. Commercial fishermen out.